Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Narcissist Guy. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope that you're having a good day. For those of you who are going through healing, I hope that you're staying strong and that you're healing well. In today's episode, a very interesting, bizarre case. Lori Vallow Daybell, the Super Narcissist. This is a true example of a case that is still ongoing of a super Jezebel narcissist. Lori Vallow is currently in jail together with Daybell for the first-degree murder of JJ Vallow, Tylee Ryan, but also for the murders of Tammy, Daybell, and Charles Vallow. Of course, Daybell and Lori Vallow are presumed innocent until proven guilty. We are going to use this case as an example of what a narcissist is capable of. I will show you that Lori Vallow is a super narcissist. We're going through a timeline of the events surrounding the deaths of JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, Charles Vallow, Tammy Daybell, and Alex Cox. Most of you are familiar with this case. I will also show you some videos during this episode where we will go through the timeline and court hearings, court appearances of Daybell and Lori Vallow. On November 26, 2019, Rexburg police learned 2 children were missing. Their mother and her new husband vanished the next day. As police and reporters began digging into the case, every detail seemed to unearth a new rabbit hole. The story has captivated the nation's attention ever since and dominated the local news cycle, with nearly every story revealing curious new details and a series of unfortunate events that became harder and harder to classify as mere coincidences. The world reeled as it learned of the death threats, drive-by shootings, visions of the end times, dead spouses, zombie slugs, and reincarnated gods that made up the lives of Lori Vallow and Daybell. On June 9th, 2020, everyone's worst fears were confirmed when the children's remains were discovered in the Daybell's backyard. Both Chad and Lori sit in jail. The story has gotten no less confusing as time has gone on. Let's go through the timeline of the case, outlining the relevant persons and dates surrounding it. Lori Vallow, the wife of Chad Daybell, the husband of Lori, the 5th husband of Lori. On March 9th, 1990, Daybell and Tammy Douglas marry in Monty, Utah. In 1992, Lori Cox marries her high school boyfriend shortly after graduating high school. Little is known about her first husband. His name, the date of their marriage, and the date of their divorce remain unknown. The year of their marriage and confirmation of its existence were provided by Annie Cushing, sister to Lori's 3rd husband. On October 22nd, 1995, Lori marries 2nd husband William Lagioa in Travis County, Texas. The couple has a son, Colby, together the following year. On February 25th, 1998, Lori and her 2nd husband divorce. What happens next is, in 2001, Lori marries 3rd husband Joseph Anthony Ryan Jr. They go on to have daughter Tylee together. The exact date of marriage is unknown, but Joseph's sister Annie Cushing confirmed the year. Joseph adopts Colby, Lori's son, from her previous marriage. They divorce on May 18th, 2005. So she divorces her 3rd husband. On February 24th, 2006, Lori and Leland Charles Anthony Vallow marry in Las Vegas, making him her 4th husband. Now, in July 2014, Charles and Lori finalized the adoption of Charles' grandnephew, Joshua Jackson, or known as JJ Vallow, according to JJ's grandmother, Kay Vallow Woodcock. The end of 2014, Charles and Lori moved to the Hawaiian island of Kauai with JJ and Tylee. According to business records, filed by the couple. In 2005 approximately, a friend of Lori tells New York's Fox 5 that Lori becomes obsessed with Chad's books around this time. In June 2015, the Daybells purchase a house in Salem, Idaho, after Chad twice hears a voice tell him he is supposed to move to Rexburg, according to Chad's blog. The Daybells eventually make the move from Springfield, Utah to Salem. Late 2016, early 2017, the Vallows move from Hawaii to Arizona, according to family members. April 3rd, 2018, Lori's ex-husband, Joseph Ryan, dies. His death is ruled due to a heart attack. Joseph's death has since become part of the investigation into Lori, according to the FBI. Now it becomes interesting because this is the moment where Lori meets Chad Daybell. That happens approximately fall 2018. Lori and her niece, Melanie Boudreau, attend a Preparing a People event where they meet Chad for the first time, according to NBC's Dateline. In the following months, Lori and Chad would exchange emails and appear on podcasts together. Chad briefly stayed at the Vallows' home in Arizona on one occasion. On January 22nd, 2019, Lori receives an email from Chad with the subject line, Demon with a name Nick Schneider, according to NBC's Dateline. On January 28, 2019, while Charles is on a business trip, Lori transfers $10,000 out of Charles' business account into an unknown account and 2,000 enterprise points to her personal account, according to divorce documents. On January 29, 2019, one day after, Lori transfers an additional $25,000 out of Charles' business account to an unknown account, according to divorce documents. Charles receives a phone call from Lori, and Lori tells him she is a God sent to carry out the work of the 144,000 at Christ's second coming, and she will kill Charles if he gets in her way. According to Lori, Jesus is headed to Earth in July 2020. On January 30th, 2019, Lori calls Charles to tell him she's planning to kill him when he returns home, and she has an angel waiting to help dispose of his body. Lori repeatedly calls Charles by the name Nick Schneider. Nick killed Charles and has taken his identity, Lori tells him. Charles, on that day, attempts to fly home only to find Lori had cancelled his flight. After buying a new ticket and landing in Arizona, Charles finds his truck gone from the airport parking lot. When he finally makes it home, Charles finds an empty house. Lori has taken his son, his business laptop, and all Charles's clothes.
Harm the children, correct?
Other than what she said today.
Yeah, what she said was subjective, I guess. She said, take the kids, I don't care.
I don't care what happens to them. Take the kids, I don't care what happens to them.
Well, that's not a direct threat to harm.
I know.
Everything she said it sounded very carefully subjective.
But she won't contact me, won't tell me where they are. Is there something I can do about that? Because she's got a Infinity.
Did she say she was leaving or anything like that, or anything like that?
In fact, she told you not to come back, is what she said.
Well, as a parent, she has the right to take her children, who knows where she's at. We don't know where she's at. She has the right to take the children. You weren't home at the time, so she's in her legal right to do so. Okay. As of right now, the statements that are listed in here are provided by you, which, to my understanding, you kind of overheard some of them. Okay. Did you hear her make statements of wanting to harm or kill herself? Did you hear any statements of her wanting to harm or kill Charles?
No, other than she used the word destroy, which again, subjective. She could have meant a number of things, obviously.
Okay.
There was definitely nothing that would qualify as a terroristic threat or
So she didn't say, I'm going to kill you or anything like that? She
No.
didn't say she was going to kill herself or anything like that?
no.
Just some, okay.
Just the irrational statements about calling him a different name and saying he was a different person. There was a level of disconnect from reality that was a bit disturbing. But that was, again, that's just my impression. That I don't have anything substantial to back that up. But just a quick conversation.
And when did you try to call the nephew?
10 times today.
Excuse me?
Last night, 10 times today.
Okay.
He won't answer. No text. Look, here's his text. Last time he answered me was Tuesday.
But you were home Tuesday, right? Or you left Tuesday morning?
I left
You left Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning. It was last Tuesday. Okay. Then yesterday, no word from her. No word from Tylee, my daughter.
Does your daughter live here too?
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering, correct me if I'm wrong, this is where I would go. First of all, we don't know if she took your truck. So you parked it at Sky Harbor on Tuesday morning. I would contact Phoenix Police, make a stolen vehicle report with them.
She took all my clothes out of my closet too, so this is what I got.
Start with Phoenix PD,
Okay.
report your truck stolen,
Okay.
okay? As for tonight, we don't have a crime. We tried to serve this during the course of doing a welfare check,
Okay.
okay? All the doors were locked.
This can't be served again when she
Hold on,
gets back?
time out, let me finish. You gave him permission to force entry into your home. What I can do is I can do a special incident report documenting some of this information.
Okay.
As of right now, there's no crime, okay? We attempted to conduct a welfare check here by speaking with your wife
That
and
was a
also to serve
pickup.
this.
Pickup order, right?
Two separate calls. We classified it two separate
Okay.
calls, okay? Normally, we don't do this after 10 o'clock,
Okay.
okay? It's,
It's a civil order, and we're not even allowed to serve a search warrant without a judge's specific order at nighttime. There has to be specific cause that says
Okay.
that this needs to be served at night for some reason. So those don't get served at night normally.
this falls into that
But-
criteria, same criteria.
So-
The only reason why we're here is some of the statements that you made towards our dispatchers, that you provided to them, that he made the decision to come here to conduct a welfare check to make sure that your children are safe.
Okay.
Okay. Upon us being here, you gave us permission to force entry into your home. That's got to be documented regardless, okay? That covers our end. Okay. So what I can do is I can type out that special incident report. You'll have a report with Phoenix Police. Technically, I mean, at this point, you know, you can do a missing persons report, but
She's taking my son out of school.
we don't know that.
Well, even if she did, she has that legal right. She's the parent. She can do that. So we don't.
Without my permission? I mean,
She's the legal guardian of the child. She
what
can.
can I do, guys? What can I do?
Like you said, you can file a police report with Phoenix. One way to try and get a response from one of them is say, hey, send a message to all of them saying, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. My truck was gone from the airport. I've reported it stolen to the Phoenix Police Department. If you guys took it, you need to let me know. So, because what's going to end up happening is,
GPS, can I track it with that?
if you got OnStar or whatever, you can call them and
I have
find
a
out.
Ford
Yeah,
F-150.
whatever their version of that is, and
Who can I
you can
go
find
to?
out where it's at, then that's completely up to you. But again, it's the only thing we're going to do, even if your reporter is missing, is if we find her, it's going to be, hey, are you missing? And she's going to say, nope.
What about the pickup order for tonight?
The pickup order is listed in our system, okay? If we come across her, we can serve that to her and take her to Community Bridges.
Okay.
If she's found in Orange County, California, they're not gonna take her to Community Bridges,
Okay.
okay?
If they find her in Flagstaff, they're not going to do anything with it. They're going to bring her down there.
I know that.
They're just, that's an order that's basically going to be held up around here in this area. They're not going to bring her down from anywhere else. So if they're somewhere else and they're long gone, there's, you know.
We understand you're in a tough situation and it's kind of alarming to you. We get that part. But what we're providing is what we can do on our end.
I'll report my car missed stolen from the airport. and a missing persons report, and check with the school and tell them.
When you make that report, don't tell the officer who you're reporting, my wife took it, because we don't know that.
Okay.
Make sure that you explain to him that you suspect she did,
Sure.
and she's in the company with such and such, such and such. Make them know that you have a
Okay.
handicapped young child, because if it comes out stolen, and she's just driving along, we don't want them to pursue the vehicle to, we don't want to put your children
She'll
in
be in
danger.
unattended, so she won't be in my truck.
But what I'm saying is just kind of,
Okay.
let them know some of the information of what's going on. But we don't know if she took it, we don't know if it
If
was
she doesn't
actually
show up,
stolen.
just disappears, there's nothing I can do after a period of time when I can't see my son?
You'd have to go down to the court and file paperwork
I'm
for
going tomorrow to file paperwork for my son.
whether it's divorce paperwork or
Can I
custody
get
or
a
whatever.
copy of this so I can give it to the attorney so we can file it for,
We can't give you a copy of that, no.
okay.
You should be, if you contact community, you filled it out with Community Bridges, you can ask them what paperwork they can give you, but we can't release
So
that
you can
paperwork.
pick her up
If we find her,
if I say she's here, come get her, you can do that?
it
Well,
depends on when you do it. If you find her at 4 o'clock in the morning,
No, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
AM to 10.
if you find her in the morning and it's outside those nighttime exception hours, which is 10 o'clock at night till 6:30 in the morning, and somebody who finds her, they can take her. Like this case, where we came here to do the welfare check on the children, if we happen to come across her, we can serve it on her. But we can't come out here and just to serve it on her.
Gabe, I'm gonna need a ride tomorrow to go get a rental car. Okay, just call me in the morning, go home.
so what's gonna happen is this paperwork, we'll
Leave it in good hands.
thank you. We'll hand it off to the next sergeant who comes on, which will be the daytime team, the morning team. And then they'll have this paperwork in their possession. Do you plan on being here the whole time tomorrow?
I have nowhere to go.
Well,
I have no
you
computer.
gotta go get the rental car, you just ask them to come and get it.
Besides, yes, I'll do
Okay.
that.
All right. So if she comes home tomorrow, you can call us, and we'll come out with this paperwork,
Okay,
and then that upcoming team will take care of the issue.
okay.
So, start with the Phoenix Police. I'll do the special incident on
Thanks for your
the
foot.
forcing entry and why we were
I'm like,
here.
that's fine.
That way, some of the information will be documented on our end. I just need you have your driver's license with you?
Need it?
Sorry, I was trying not to kick it hard enough to swing it open and hit that other door, but that's what ended up doing it, so.
She's got a Hawaii driver's license, we moved here from Hawaii.
1725. By chance, do you have Charles' 27 info attached? You've got to have some sort of place to go. You might not need to pack everybody up. Your friend's family around here?
Her probably her sister or her brother's house or her mom and dad's house.
That's all local.
Thank you.
Start with them tomorrow. Okay, I don't want to add more concern to you by you trying to call them tonight and them not answering just because they're
I'm
asleep.
going to bed, guys, I'm wore out.
Completely understand, completely understand.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So on January 31st, 2019, Charles petitions Community Bridges Healthcare for a 72-hour hold and evaluation of Lori. Charles then goes into Lori's car and takes her purse and wallet. Lori goes to the Gilbert police station to file a statement regarding the theft. Law enforcement talks to Lori and appears to sympathize with her. She implies Charles was lying due to a marital dispute. At law enforcement's encouragement to explain the situation to the healthcare center, Lori checks herself into Community Bridges and is discharged a few hours later, okay? Now, what you see in this footage is you see Lori Vallow with Tylee. Okay, and this is absolutely crazy. A normal mother would never take her child to the police station for these kind of stuff, because she didn't mention that she transferred the $10,000 out of Charles' business account and then an additional $25,000. Okay, she also took his truck. She forgot to mention that. Okay, that's typical narcissistic toxic amnesia. Okay, at its best. This is a typical situation of parental alienation. Okay, she's trying to make Charles look bad in the eyes of Tylee. You know, she's not telling the whole truth here. She's manipulating. She is very manipulative. And the reason why I told you that the bodies of Tylee and JJ were found at the beginning of this episode is because I want you to know that the bodies were found so you can see how Lori behaves. It's crazy. This lady is cuckoo lala in her head. Absolutely crazy. Now let's have a look at the footage. And when you look at the footage, notice on the body cam how the police officer is sympathizing with her. Okay, this is what happens when people are not conscious on narcissistic abuse, narcissistic behavior, narcissistic personality disorder. It could have stopped right here, right then, when Charles Vallow petitions for that 72-hour hold on Lori Vallow. It could have stopped here. This is after talk, what we're doing now, you know, because and the case is still ongoing and all, but still, that's why it's so important for people to be aware and conscious of narcissistic behavior, narcissistic abuse. Lori Vallow is a true super narcissist.
And when I talked to him, he was all upset, wondering what are we going to do about that. I have until it is verified by my sergeant that it's still active, they still want you, I can't hold you against your will. But if it's verified by my sergeant, which he says could take a little while, then if it is verified, then I have to take you to Community Bridges. It's a mental health behavior place to get looked at. But while it's being verified, I have no right to keep you and hold you, just so you're aware. So he's supposedly en route with your purse and your phone, and then and the order also, which needs to be verified by my sergeant. So we will facilitate the transfer of the purse and the phone, and while we go give the mental health petition to my sergeant, and she's verifying it, you do whatever you feel you need to do.
Okay.
How we're going to get that to go away, I do not know. You may need to you can probably contact Community Bridges, that's CBI, Community Bridges. We have one, I don't know if you even want to just go up there, at Mesa Drive and Baseline. It's off Javelina, which is the street before you get to the freeway, if you're going north towards the freeway. Find out what you need to do to prove yourself, because what it is committal paperwork.
Right.
They can hold you for 24, 48, however long they deem it necessary to get you evaluated.
Right.
Based off just what your husband said.
Says.
Yeah.
Wow.
So doctors play it
Sorry.
safe.
I just think it's funny because he's trying to tell everything.
Just let him
Right.
explain.
So,
That's very smart.
Because I'm really the one that did
And-
something wrong.
but no, here's the thing: is I don't know, and I'm not going to take sides.
Right, no,
but
I
just
don't know.
talking to you, I mean, I don't see you being a danger to yourself or anybody else. You got your kids to school.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm not going to play side. I'm just going to let you know that we are required, if you're here, that we will, even with force if we have to,
Right.
if you're still here when it's approved, we'll have to take you to CBI.
Okay. And what is it called? I was just going to write it down.
Community Bridges.
Okay.
That's where we take you. Now, I don't know who he went through to get the order taken care of.
That's what I'm saying. How do you even get that? He got that in the middle of the night? How do you get something in the middle of the night?
It's family members can do it for other ones who have like drug dependency or not getting help, mental health
Yeah, but how would
issues.
he get? He had to come here. Isn't stuff closed?
It's not here. There are places you can go. So
How would you think of something?
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
sorry.
So
This guy. It's okay.
It's called Community Bridges. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? I'm just going to write it down.
so I'm
But
going
they'll
to
be looking for me. That's the whole thing. Like, that's what.
We don't bust down doors to get you, but we will knock. So if you see police officers knocking, talk to them through the door if you really don't want to go.
Okay.
If you want a free medical evaluation,
I was
psychological
gonna say, I haven't
evaluation,
gotten any sleep in about 3 days. They have good facilities.
they do actually, from what I understand.
A gym where I could work out.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
kind of happy.
Like I said,
You'll be okay without your mama.
You are going to get a padded room.
so officers don't kick down doors to serve these. They're civil orders.
Right.
They're for your safety. It's not illegal. If it was because you're a danger to yourself, it's not illegal to kill yourself. So we don't go busting down doors.
Right.
But if we make contact with you, there's nothing separating us. At that point,
You can
we
just
know
say
it's
anything you want about someone and get a mental health order against them.
Not so if it's a family member, and depending on what he told the doctors, they'll do it just to be safe. Otherwise,
So
say
you can
something
say they're
happens to
suicidal
you,
or something and
right?
get it.
So if something happens, you do something to yourself, he's going to go after those doctors. I told you, you didn't sign the order. She should have gotten help.
Right.
That sort of thing. So
Do
there
you
becomes
know?
some liability.
Do you know what he said?
No.
No?
1 Frank 17. 10:50. Edgar 206. Yeah, I was talking to someone, that's why I didn't answer. Yeah, we're aware. Let me step out. I'll talk to you. All right. Excuse me for a second.
Yeah.
I will come with you.
Tempo. No, you can entertain them.
Okay.
Got any knock-knock jokes?
He dances really nice.
Oh, good.
Okay.
You feel like a little performance.
Here we go.
Show us
Okay.
your equipment. How
She's going to apply to the academy. She's now a high school graduate, right? At 16.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, well, she got her GED, so she's moving on with life.
You really want to be a police officer?
Maybe. You never know.
We'll look forward to this stuff, man. I'm actually pretty new myself, so I just got on. It's like my first month on training after out of the academy, so
Nice.
that's why he's doing a lot of the talking.
Yeah.
that's the best way to learn.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, so it's because, like, honestly, this is kind of a more unique call than what I've seen. This is a little bit different. I mean, like, like,
Rules with this kind of stuff.
well, and what's unique about it is either the theft or the petition was usually a separate deal. I mean, the fact that all of a sudden he stole your phone and then all of a sudden there's a petition out there too, it's like, well, so
Right.
I've seen one or the other. I haven't seen both in one.
Well, that's what
sitting.
he was saying then when he texted you that. I'm so sorry I had to do it. I was worried about you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what I
Like,
meant.
he literally hadn't
probably
seen
what they
JJ for like
can,
6 hours,
Yeah.
and he'd been at school, so it's not like he was in any kind of.
Well, he was out of town too.
Well, yeah, but still.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's a good thing you did come in because it will be a very one-sided story. So it's always good to kind of see
Yeah.
what's going on.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, it was very smart. Yeah, and Jason's sweet.
What was
You
really
have
cool
to tell him
was
I love him.
So I was sitting there in coming out of her neighborhood after he conned me to go to the house, and I pulled over, by the pool, and then I see this guy that I know, just like
Our good friend.
just
who's a police
like
officer.
right in front of me on the side of the road, and I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
that looks like Jason. I'm like, hold on, that's Jason. He's a police guy. I'm gonna go. So I'm like, Jason, what are you doing over here? He goes, I was just going visiting Gabe.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hey, I just want to tell you what's going on. He goes, yeah, go down to the police office now. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I was
That's
going to
great.
do it after he took it, and I realized it was gone when I got back to the car. I was like, he's lurking around here. Like, that's creepy by itself.
Yeah.
But two, like, it's everything I have. Like, I don't have anything. I don't have money. I don't have an ID. I don't have anything. And
Your
so,
car keys are normally attached to your purse.
yeah, but I
That's-
carried him in my hand.
yeah.
I just had him in my hand. I was dealing with JJ. He was
Thankfully,
like,
you had your keys.
he didn't
Yeah.
want to go to school. He was like throwing a fit on the ground. And
Yeah.
so it was a rough morning as it was.
Yeah, I can imagine. So do you guys have separate cars?
We do.
What car does he drive?
So he has a Ford F-150 truck.
Oh, okay. So then the white Suburban, you had no idea what that was?
That was his buddy's car, he said.
He
His
said it was
buddy's
his
car?
buddy's car.
That's
He
what
doesn't have
said.
any
He doesn't
buddies.
have any buddies, so it was a white Suburban. I didn't know because it was two
I would
other
think
guys
it would
in
be
the
a rental
driveway, but then
car.
when I came back, he was gone, and I know it was his car because the other, the guys fixed
Right.
the locks.
We're
Their
still
cars
there.
were still there, so I know it was that one because he
Oh.
left.
That's really strange. So what kind of
Did he
questions?
change the locks on me? I'm on the lease as well, the house.
Yeah, I don't think so. Honestly, I have to obviously confirm with him, but to be honest with you, you should be able to have access to it as well if it's your
Yeah,
house.
so he's
He's in
changed
my
them all. They're all
name, too.
changed probably by now.
Yeah, he's trying to lock me out
Yeah.
just because whatever.
Yeah, I assume it would just be because how we were saying you need to be able to, or he needs to be able to get in the house. It should be the same.
Right,
So
so I can kick the door down too.
yeah, I don't know. I think
After
so.
it gets fixed.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to be in there if he's in there. That's the whole point. That's why I left.
No,
Yeah.
it was creepy. You know, I was like, oh my
kinda-
gosh, where's Lori? Is she? You know, I thought you were there.
Yeah.
It was so freaky. So glad those two other guys were there.
Yeah, I know that you weren't just there by yourself with him. That'd be even worse.
I should have, like, in retrospect, I probably should have walked away quickly, but I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, I mean, who really
Yeah,
is?
You were just being a good friend to me, so I appreciate it. I'm sorry that you're caught up in it. And he's catching up everybody in it. He calls everybody on my phone, so now he has phone access to all my friends, and he's calling them all to tell them how crazy I am and whatever, because he got snagged, you know.
And this is just a recent thing? Has he done this before, or like?
This is in like 24 hours. Like, or he's done stuff
Like, has he done this before? Yeah.
But this whole
Not this
situation
extreme,
happened.
No.
but he's been ballistic where we had to leave because he was being awful, and I don't want him to hurt one of the kids or something. so-
Probably 3 or 4 times that I can remember.
Yeah, 13 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really just a stand-up guy overall.
Hey, I'm not making any judgments.
No, I know you guys even sure get it. I know, it's super awkward.
Okay, so they got him in there, and they got you. Perfect. I'll just get. I already got your information, so we're good there.
So basically,
How did he even know to get a mental health thing? I don't even know how he would know how to do that.
Is that your daughter's phone? I'm assuming.
No, it's my mom's old broken phone.
Oh,
I
you
put a
were
SIM
using her
card
phone?
in. I went and
Okay.
bought a SIM card today and put it in so I would
Okay.
have something.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't go without a phone
You
now.
just can't.
yeah, is there any phone numbers you need that are my phone? You want to put
Probably.
your phone? Since you don't have access
Yeah,
to
I probably
phone
would need.
numbers?
I don't have phone numbers. I have my mom's old phone numbers. The family members, but not any of my friends.
Right, so you don't have that information.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put Jason and Thor and all our people.
Yeah, my friends.
So were you there with them when this was going on? Were you were there in the car or no?
No, she was at the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get your info. What's your first and last name? A different last name?
Yeah, so he's my stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
So
on.
she was 3. So.
Okay. And then do you live at the house full time
Mhm.
with them? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your date of birth? Cool. Yeah, because this one we entered and I'll need that info. So no big deal there. But yeah, so I guess we'll see what they say. But as long as you, I mean,
Did the person go?
well, yeah, it takes us a while to verify the order, so that's kind of like, yeah, so as long as the order's not verified, we can't serve it, so.
And is he'll be here too, or is there a way we can go out without him seeing us?
Oh, yeah, I think we'll probably facilitate it, so, I mean, either way, yeah. I'm not sure exactly.
I'm sure he'll have taken everything important out of there.
And in the scenario
Just
that
give me the
she,
purse with nothing in it, sorry.
in the scenario that she has to go with like my little brother, would he be like ordered to pick him up from school and take him? Like,
Who
there's no
the,
court order, but like I
yeah.
know, yeah.
are you saying, is Charles supposed to pick him up? Or are you saying, can you guys pick him up?
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
Like, who's gonna pick him up?
Could I pick him up and take him back to like the hotel?
Oh, yeah, I don't think that even
Okay.
matters. Yeah, I don't think. Whatever you guys got to work out, I think. I don't know what you're planning on doing about. So, because you're kind of saying you only want like a report, but is this gonna be like an ongoing thing? Like, is this like, are you concerned about getting back in the house? Like, what's the game plan?
Well,
Yeah.
now we are.
Yeah.
Now we are that we know he changed all the locks.
Yeah.
So we don't know what to do, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 2 days ago, he was like, if you want me to leave, I'll leave. All real super nice. And then when I actually had evidence, and he got really mad.
So this all stems from him cheating and you finding out about it? Yeah. I think everyone's kind of learning a little bit on this one, so I can't even tell you what I think is going to happen. We'll see.
It's just a sad scenario as usual.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. What school do you go to?
She graduated.
I just
You just graduated.
She's
You
got
got
her
your
GED.
GED.
Yeah.
Oh, so what are you going to do now?
Great
Because you got a few years
question.
before you be a police officer.
Yeah, I might start community college classes and then eventually transfer over to a university. But
She's working that. She's working right
yeah,
now.
and I'm working.
Oh, okay.
But
Where at? Oh, nice.
Yep.
Good. As long as you're good at talking to people, that's pretty much a lot of the job. Seems like.
Yes, it's actually a good experience to be in here so you can learn what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not chasing people down and beating them up. And
There's a little bit of that. Not as much in Gilbert, I don't think. I mean, I haven't done too much of that
not as
lately.
much as like in Phoenix.
Downtown Phoenix.
Right.
Yeah, our friend was downtown Phoenix police officer, and he talks a lot of those stories.
So your buddy Jason, you're saying,
Jason
is he's
Mao.
Phoenix? That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, he was Phoenix.
Yeah, he had an incredible case where when he was taking the bad guy down, his hamstrings pulled off his legs or hip, and he was completely taken.
His hamstrings, or the guy he was taking down?
No, his
his.
own.
Oh.
And so he can no longer perform as a police officer because of that. He
Wow.
retired. It took his life. It took his ability to work.
Wow. How long was he on?
He was on his bed for 3
3
years.
years.
while
It
they
took him
attached
3
him.
years to.
Oh, wow.
His story is really incredible.
It is an
Yeah.
incredible story. It took him 3 years to walk again, but the police department said it was a pre-existing addiction and wouldn't pay for it.
Pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, sorry. So
Yeah.
But now
Addie's walking to a fight. You're sitting there in your police car, and as he pulls off on a hot summer day to go chase this bad guy, and then
Yeah.
you don't go to work with these not attached.
he couldn't
Yeah.
even walk like for 3
So
years.
he's actually been supporting police officers and helping them because they haven't been getting their rights.
Nice.
He's for the police guys now. He has a whole organization, and they're
Yeah,
amazing.
he does.
Wow.
Really good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's.
trying to remember.
But
what
he's
the
now retired
acronym-
from.
Now, after this, maybe around a week after Lori was discharged, on February 8th, 2019, Charles files for divorce from Lori. His attorneys advise him to remove Lori as the beneficiary of his life insurance. Lori does not learn of this removal until after Charles' death, according to Kay. Okay. And this was a very smart and wise move. It is unfortunate that Charles got killed, but it is fortunate that Lori was not the beneficiary anymore. Okay. Of course, it is unfortunate that 2 innocent children and an innocent husband had to die or had to be killed, murdered. Okay, we don't know if it has happened by the hands of Lori herself, or Chad Daybell did it, or Alex Cox did it. The investigation is still ongoing. If you're asking me who has killed Lori's children, Tylee and JJ, I think it must have been Alex Cox. Okay, with the help of Chad Daybell. I don't believe that this super narcissist would use her own hands to kill her children. I don't believe Lori killed them. A super narcissist will let other people take care of the dirty jobs. Okay, the dirty work is done by others, not by the narcissist. Because the narcissist, in this case, the children were found in the backyard of Chad Daybell's property. I think that Lori Vallow agreed on that, or Lori ordered to have them buried in the backyard of Chad Daybell, because she thinks that she can get away with it. Okay, mind you that her third husband, Joseph Ryan, died, that it was a natural death, that he died of a heart attack, but there are too many coincidences in this case. Okay, she might have gotten away with murder in the past. You never know. Okay, so now on February 10th, 2 days after Charles Vallow filed for divorce, Lori vanishes for 58 days, leaving both her husband and kids. Charles has no idea where she went. One of his sons told Phoenix Fox 10. A friend later revealed she spent part of this time in Hawaii. She's got something with Hawaii, okay? And I think she loves it there in Hawaii. So she vanishes to Hawaii. Now, on March 6, 2019, not even a month after Charles Vallow files for divorce proceedings are dismissed at Charles' request. Charles decided he wanted to try to make the marriage work. Charles' son said in the interview with Fox 10 in Phoenix, he's stopping the divorce proceedings, okay? He wants to work on this marriage with Lori Vallow. Big mistake. You don't know why he's done it. Maybe he's done it, because he truly loves her and he saw her change drastically in a very short period amount of time. He might thought like, okay, maybe this is just a phase, or maybe, because this is because of this chat Daybell and all the books that she's been reading and, and becoming part of a cult, and that he might be able to save her from this cult. But you can never change a narcissist. Okay, this is proof. It is impossible to change a narcissist. They don't change, they become worse. And this is what happens. It becomes worse. This is just the beginning. In spring 2019, Melanie Gibb, co-host of Lori's podcast, overhears Lori call Tylee a zombie. When Tylee does not want to babysit JJ, she said, "Not me, Mom." That's what Tylee responded. Lori tells Gibb that Tylee turned into a zombie around the age of 12 or 13. Tylee became difficult to deal with around those ages. That's what Lori told Gibb. In April 2019, Charles texts a friend saying Lori had dramatically changed in the last 6 months, according to NBC's Dateline. "It's the freakiest thing I've ever experienced. She's with a group of people called Woke and Preparing a People. She says an evil spirit named Nick Schneider murdered me and is using me to violate her." That is what Charles Vallow tells a friend. Now, in June 2019, Melanie unexpectedly demands a divorce from Brandon Boudreau. This is a different Melanie. So you have Melanie Gibb, the friend, and this is Melanie Boudreau. Melanie Boudreau, her husband of 11 years. So she's going to divorce him. That's what Brandon said in a Facebook post. Brandon says he believes it was due to Melanie's new religious beliefs after following her aunt Lori and chat into what he calls a cult. Okay, now, this is truly a cult. This is a cult, okay? And this is a very delusional fantasy or goal or whatever they had in their mind. They had this crazy thinking that the world was going to end. We have been seeing cults predicting the end of the world. Now, in this situation, they're even talking about zombies. Okay, now, Lori is reading the Bible, but Lori is serving the devil. Okay, she is serving the devil. She's serving the devil. She's a true Jezebel. Lori is using religion as her personal marketing machine. Okay, she is using the Bible. She is using God. And that is what a lot of covert narcissists do. They twist Bible verses. They gaslight. They use gaslighting as well. They use gaslighting a lot here. Lori is using a lot of gaslighting in this whole situation. Triangulation, gaslighting, parental alienation. She is truly using all the tactics of a narcissist, all the tools. She is ticking all of the 9 symptoms of a narcissist, okay? She is crazy. She has these crazy fantasies of being famous, and she tried to become famous already before, but that didn't work. So, and you can also see that Lori is obsessed with beauty. She is obsessed with her beauty. You can see that this covert narcissist is absolutely cuckoo lala in her head. Alright, now let's go to July 11th. So approximately 1 month after that text message. July 11th, 2019. Charles arrives at Lori's Chandler, Arizona home to pick up JJ. Home at the time were Lori, Tylee, JJ, and Lori's brother, Alex Cox. An altercation occurs, and Alex shoots Charles twice in the chest, killing him. Alex claims self-defense and no charges are filed. So that day, Charles was killed by Alex Cox in self-defense. And let's look at some footage now, because you will see Lori and Tylee in front of her car laughing, being sarcastic, typical narcissistic behavior. And she's laughing and saying like, she answers the officer's question like, oh, you're new to the neighborhood. Yeah, we just moved in a few weeks ago. And like, hi neighbors. Your fourth husband just got killed by your brother. Your daughter is standing next to you. I mean, like, everybody copes with tragic trauma, whatever, or deaths, or in different ways, but you're talking about a shooting here. Someone killed your husband. It doesn't matter if it was self-defense. Well, it wasn't self-defense, but in this case they said it was self-defense. And you're standing there laughing. And later that day, she's going to a pool party. Now look at how she's standing there. You can see her standing there being very confident. She's absolutely not sad. Look at her body language. She's not sad whatsoever. Absolutely not sad. And in her head, she was thinking, all right, the $1 million is coming my way. My plan is working. It worked for the moment. She thought it worked. Well, it worked until she discovered that was not the beneficiary of the life insurance policy anymore.
As we've reported, Lori's brother Alex Cox shot and killed Charles this past July in Arizona. But now new details about what else Lori did that day and how she reacted is raising some red flags.
And is he hurt or is he alive? Or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
On July 11th, 2019, Lori Vallow's brother Alex Cox called 911 to report he had just killed Charles Vallow, JJ's father and Lori's estranged husband.
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense. He came at me with a bat.
Lori, JJ, and Tylee were all home at the time. As police questioned Lori, she didn't appear rattled or upset, even laughing at one point.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
Arizona detectives say throughout Lori's interview with police, she wasn't fazed.
It was kind of like a happy-go-lucky. She was just kind of smiling. She was talking about how Tylee was going to go to BYU, Hawaii, and it was just a very, very nonchalant. You would have thought that we just, recovered their stolen vehicle.
Cox is shown here dabbing at a wound he says he got after Charles hit him with the bat.
It definitely didn't appear that he was struck with, an extreme amount of force to a baseball bat. Charles was a very physically fit man, and actually a former college ball player. So it didn't appear that it was a huge strike to the head.
The same day Charles was killed, neighbors say Lori threw a pool party.
How can everyone be so calm and, seemingly so unaffected?
That's Tylee's aunt, Annie Cushing. She believes that what Lori and Cox told police was a cover-up. And because the children were witnesses, that's why they're missing.
I do wonder with Tylee if she was asked to toe the line to keep everyone out of prison.
The day after Charles was killed, Lori told Charles's 2 sons from a previous marriage that their father had died via text message.
And I couldn't believe that she did that in that way. I mean, I wish she would have called me and said, can you please tell Cole? But to do it so brutal through a text was just, it was horrible.
And of course, we know that Alex Cox, he died mysteriously in December. The results of his autopsy are still pending. You can find all of the reports that we've done on this case. It's now in a special section of our website at ktvb.com.
So after the death of her 4th husband, that same day, she goes to a pool party. And Lori's property manager, Joey Pongratz, neighbors reported a pool party at Lori's house later that day with loud music and lots of people swimming. That is absolutely something you would do on the day your husband was killed. And what she also did was she has sent a text message to Charles, his sons from a previous marriage, saying that his father died and that she's making arrangements. That is truly something you will do in a text message. She's not calling them because then they will ask questions. That's it. Very, very sick. Now, on August 9th, 2019, JJ's beloved service dog Bailey is put up for sale, according to Kay Woodcock. The dog was later returned to the kennel from which the dog was purchased. On August 10th, 2019, JJ's grandmother, Kay Fellow Woodcock, spoke with JJ for the very, very last time through FaceTime for approximately 35 seconds. This is the last time she had contact with JJ, okay? On September 1st, 2019, Lori, Tylee, and JJ moved to Rexburg. Tylee originally planned to stay in Arizona and move in with a friend, but she decided she didn't want to leave JJ. She was just protective of JJ because he was her little brother. That's what her friend told. Now, over the next 2 months, Melanie and Alex also moved to Rexburg into the same housing complex. And this is Melanie Boudreau, Lori's niece, so not Melanie Gibb. Now, on September 8th, 2019, Tylee is seen for the last time. Phone records indicate Tylee, JJ, Lori, and Alex took a trip to Yellowstone National Park. 2 photos, one from Lori's iCloud account and one from the National Park Service entrance, both show Tylee in Yellowstone on this day. There has been no confirmed sighting of Tylee since. Now, on September 9th, 2019, one day after, Alex Cox goes to Lori's apartment around 3 a.m. Cell phone pings then place him on Chad's property in the Daybell's pet cemetery. Chad's neighbors hears a gunshot. Chad texts Tammy saying he shot a raccoon and buried it in the pet cemetery. Tylee's body will later be found in this pet cemetery. Now, on September 19, 2019, Melanie Gibb, co-host of Lori's religious podcast, arrives at Lori's home with her boyfriend. They are visiting from Arizona. Shortly after arriving, Lori informs Gibb that JJ has become a zombie. Yeah, she was telling her that he was crawling against the ceiling, climbing on kitchen cabinets. Okay, crazy. Anyways, September 22nd, 2019, while Gibb and Lori are recording a podcast episode, Alex stops by Lori's apartment. Alex is holding JJ, who appears to be asleep in his arms. This is the last verifiable sighting of JJ, okay? Now, on September 23rd, 2019, JJ is absent from school. When Gibb's boyfriend asks where JJ is, Lori tells him JJ was acting like a zombie, so Alex took him. And around 10 a.m., cell phone pings place Alex at the pond on Chad's property, and that's where JJ's body will later be found, at this pond. On September 24, 2019, Lori tells JJ he will not be returning. She initially says JJ is staying with his grandmother, before later saying she plans to homeschool him. Now, per Idaho law, the school was not required to make any further contact regarding JJ. Now, on October 1st, 2019, Lori signs a contract with Self Storage Plus in Rexburg to rent a storage unit. Surveillance video shows Lori and Alex visit the unit a total of 9 times in October and once in November, according to footage released to East Idaho News. Items brought to the storage unit include gun casings, children's bicycles, and a variety of items belonging to JJ and Tylee.
This morning, investigators looking for clues in this surveillance video from an Idaho storage facility where Lori Vallow rented a unit. Video obtained by East Idaho News reportedly showing Vallow and several others making numerous trips to the facility in October and November, around the time her children were reported missing, carrying large items in and out of the locker. According to East Idaho News, police obtained a search warrant for Vallow's home and the storage unit, finding children's bikes, photo albums, blankets, and clothing in the unit.
Can you tell me where your kids are?
It's been 1 week since Vallow ignored a deadline to physically produce her children, failing to bring 17-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old JJ to authorities. The kids have been missing since September. Vallow and her new husband, Chad Daybell, fleeing Idaho, heading to Hawaii one day after authorities performed a welfare check looking for the kids.
Where are your kids? No comment? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
Vallow married Daybell last year, just days after his wife died, and 3 months after her husband was shot to death by her brother. Police are now investigating the death of Daybell's former wife.
Particles of light were coming towards my body and latching on to me.
Daybell has written religious books and given speeches about what he describes as 2 near-death experiences.
If you look at the footage, you might think like, why are you storing all those belongings, variety of belongings and items of JJ and Tylee? If you say that you're hiding your children out of safety or for safety reasons, why would you store all their belongings? Doesn't make sense. Okay, you might think like, okay, she's been moving from places. She has been moving from place to place, and maybe she wanted to store those belongings because she could pick them up later or whatever. We know that that wasn't the case because the children were already murdered. Murdered by her flying monkey, the family murderer, Alex Cox. Now, on October 2nd, 2019, a drive-by shooting attempt is made on Brandon Boudreau in Gilbert, Arizona. Brandon is the ex-husband of Melanie Pawlowski. She remarries later with Ian Pawlowski. Brandon did not see the driver. The drive-by vehicle was a Jeep registered to the deceased Charles Vallow, police confirmed. So who was in that car? That must have been Alex Cox, even though it's still an ongoing investigation, but it must have been Alex Cox. I don't think that Chad Daybell was in that car to kill Brandon Boudreau. Okay, Alex Cox knows Brandon Boudreau. So, this flying monkey, again, the family murderer, is in action now. Now, on that same day, a ring is ordered through Charles' Amazon account, according to East Idaho News. Photos later show Lori wearing the ring in wedding photos. Her browser history also showed someone looking at wedding dresses online around the same time. Okay, so she is ordering a wedding ring with the Amazon account and the credit card belonging to her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. This is also narcissistic behavior because she feels entitled. Lori Vallow feels entitled to everything. The money of the life insurance, the money she receives for the care of JJ Vallow. Okay, she feels entitled to everything. She feels that she deserves to have special treatment. Now, on October 9th, 2019, a man wearing a ski mask appears in the Daybell's driveway in Salem as Tammy is unloading groceries from her car. He points what she believes to be a paintball gun at her and pulls the trigger several times. But the weapon doesn't appear to be loaded, according to a Facebook post made by Tammy. Tammy tries several times to ask the man what he was doing, but he never speaks. Tammy yells for Chad, and the man runs away. Tammy reports the incident to the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, whose investigators believe it was likely a prank and never found the man. Fremont County Sheriff Len Humphreys told the Rexburg Standard Journal. Now, on October 19th, 2019, family members find Tammy dead in her home at age of 49. According to a Rexburg Police Department news release, the death is ruled due to natural causes. Tammy had seemed healthy when her father, Ron Douglas, saw her 2 weeks earlier. Douglas told Fox 13 Salt Lake City. Douglas said a grief-stricken Chad called him after Tammy died, saying she had gone to bed the night before with a terrible cough and never woke up. Now, notice the time difference. October 9th, 2019, a man wearing a ski mask appears in the Daybell's driveway, trying to kill her with what she thought was a paintball gun, but that's what she thought that it looked like from a distance. Maybe it was a real gun, you never know. I have no clues about gun. I never held a gun in my hand, so I don't know. Anyways, but what I'm trying to say is the time difference is 10 days from that first murder attempt. I'm gonna call it a murder attempt between the day that she died 10 days. It's 10 days, okay? Because Chet and Lori had to marry before the end of the world. They've been husband and wife in previous lives before, okay? Now on October 25th, 2019, a friend of Tylee's from Arizona receives a text message from Tylee saying, "Hi, miss you guys too, love ya." This text was in response to a text the friend sent on October 19th, saying she missed Tylee and had been thinking about her. This friend confirmed this text exchange and provided a screenshot, but she has doubts Tylee was the one who wrote the response because she spelled out her words for the most part. Plus, she would have texted more if I reached out. Now, so Tylee was already murdered. Okay, so who sent those text messages? But what I think is that Lori Vallow sent those messages. I don't think that Alex Cox would have done that or Chet Daybell. But you never know. This case is crazy as it is already. Now, late October 2019 approximately, Chet receives $430,000 in life insurance. Okay, according to arrest records. So he received the money. November 19th, Lori and Chet repeatedly deny the existence of the children when speaking with acquaintances. Claims include that Tylee died in 2017 and that Lori has no minor children, which is crazy. Okay, because you don't have to lie about it. You can just say, "I have children," and then leave it at that. But she was lying, and that is absolutely narcissistic behavior. November 5th, 2019. This is the day Chet and Lori are married in Kauai, in Hawaii, wearing that beautiful wedding ring she ordered through the Amazon account of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow. Very sick. But again, she feels entitled because she's a narcissist. Narcissists think that they deserve special treatment and that they are entitled to everything. Now, on November 14, 2019, prior to the finalization of her divorce, police arrest Melanie for trespassing on Brandon's parents' property in American Fork, Utah, according to court records. She is charged with criminal trespass and released the same day. Now, mid-November 2019, Chet and Lori returned to Rexburg from Kauai. Now, this is the important day. On November 26, 2019, police go to Lori and Chet's residence at 565 Pioneer Road in Rexburg to conduct a welfare check on JJ at the request of his grandmother, Kay Woodcock. Lori tells police multiple different stories about the children being in Arizona with friends and relatives. Police contact them but are told they have not seen the children. And this is when she asks Melanie Gibb to lie to the police and take pictures of children, of random children, and send them to Lori so Lori can provide them to the police. And she also, when the police asks her who Chet Daybell is, she forgets to mention that he is her fifth husband. No, what she tells the police is that Chet Daybell is a friend of Alex Cox. That might be true, that they're friends, but you forget to mention that he's actually your fifth husband. Now, on November 29th, 2019, Alex Cox and Sulima Pastenes are married in Las Vegas, his new wife. And the next day, November 30th, 2019, Melanie Boudreau and Ian Pawlowski are married in Las Vegas, according to court records. Pawlowski, a resident of Rexburg, divorced his previous wife in July 2019, according to his Facebook post. On December 1st, 2019, Chet and Lori fly from Los Angeles to Kauai, according to American Airlines records. They love Kauai so very much, they like to be there. On December 11th, 2019, law enforcement decided to further investigate the death of Tammy, Daybell. Tammy's body is exhumed and submitted for an autopsy. Police call her death suspicious. Now, on December 12, 2019, Alex Cox dies in Gilbert, Arizona. He was found unresponsive by Sulema's son. A medical examiner later rules his death natural, citing blood clots in lungs and high blood pressure. Now, the family murderer has died. On December 20th, 2019, Rexburg police announced the disappearance of Tylee and JJ and asked the public for assistance in locating them. Chad and Lori are not cooperating. Of course not. He just receives a lot of money. They're on a spending spree. They are enjoying life as if nothing has happened. And that is the delusional thought of the super narcissist, because she thinks that she's getting away with it, because she might have been getting away with other murders in her past. So you never know. This is a super narcissist we're talking about, guys. This is not a young narcissist, this is a super narcissist. Now, on December 21st, 2019, police officially announced Chad and Lori as persons of interest. On December 23rd, 2019, Rexburg attorney Sean Bartholik issues statement on Chad and Lori's behalf, saying, Chad Daybell was a loving husband and has the support of all his children in this matter. Lori Daybell is a devoted mother and resents assertions to the contrary. We look forward to addressing the allegations once they have moved beyond speculation and rumor. Absolutely not. That is crazy. It's a crazy statement. Yeah, but he's a lawyer. He gets paid for it, so he just uploads a nice statement online. People read it. But anyway, this is what she's showing other people, that she is a good and devoted mother. Now, let me tell you something. She never loved her children. They are primary objects, like everyone else is an object to a narcissist. A narcissist doesn't view people as humans with feelings, personality, unique characters, empathy. No, a narcissist is seeing you as like a car. A car is useful. A car can bring you from A to B. But when a car breaks down, they replace it with a new car. That is how a narcissist thinks. That is how a narcissist is using people. And this is an example of it. Okay? Now, she hates their children. She hates her children. She doesn't love her children. She hates them. They are just like showing, it is just a mask for the outside world, showing what kind of caring mother she is. Because JJ had autism. Okay? So he needed special care. She was not a good mother. That was all an act. I know that some people said, Lori Vallow used to be a good mother. She was a very good mother. But that's just all an act, because what she really loved was money. Money was her addiction. Crazy fantasies of fame and status. That is what she thought of all the time. Okay, she has been married 5 times, guys. And yes, some people are unlucky and they marry 1, 2, 3, 4 times. But this is different. She remarries, and the average duration of her marriages is 2 or 3 years, 2.5 years. This narcissist, this is a super narcissist, absolutely a super narcissist with a delusional mind. She's absolutely, I said many times, she's cuckoo lala in her head, and she totally is. A few days after that statement on behalf of Chad and Lori by their lawyer Sean Bartholik, 3 days later, on December 26, 2019, Preparing a People issues a statement denying it is a cult. According to the statement, it is a multimedia company that focuses on video editing. Preparing a People representatives say they have not had Chad speak at any event since February 2019. They are cooperating with law enforcement and have removed podcast episodes featuring Chad and Lori. Now, on December 30th, 2019, Rexburg police issue another news release. In it, police say they strongly believe that Joshua and Tylee's lives lives are in danger. Police say they know the children are not with Chet and Lori. Despite law enforcement believing she knows where they are or what has happened to them, Lori has completely refused to assist this investigation and has chosen instead to leave the state with her new husband. She lives with her new husband. She loves Hawaii. On January 3rd, 2020, law enforcement from the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, the Rexburg Police Department, and the FBI arrive at the Daybell property, former home of Chet and Tammy, with a search warrant. Officers search inside the house, as well as a shed and barn behind the house. Metal detectors were used in the yard, and police said more than 43 items were collected from the home, including computers, cell phones, journals, documents, and medications, which have been sent to forensic experts for examination. A few days later, on January 7th, 2020, JJ's grandparents hold a press conference in Rexburg to announce a $20,000 reward for the children's return. "We want only the best for them," Larry Woodcock says. "Please give them back to us." And this is what a normal parent will do. I mean, not everybody has the $20,000, but at least they will do everything in their power to find their children, okay? But Madame and her new husband are in Hawaii because on January 25th, 2020, law enforcement locate Chet and Lori on the Hawaiian island of Kauai, where they are served with a court order obtained by the Madison County Prosecutor's Office that requires Lori to physically produce Tylee and JJ to the Idaho Department of Welfare in Rexburg, Idaho, or to the Rexburg Police within 5 days of being served with the order. That happened on the 25th. That happened on January 25th, 2020. Now, on January 26, 2020, the Kauai Police Department serves a search warrant on Chet and Lori's vehicle. And that's what you will see now in the next video.
Step out. I have a search warrant for you guys. Your car, your belongings. Can you bring your arms? I'll go with that. You fall out.
This way. Quiet, Lily. This way. Can I sit inside? Can we take her?
Just having her, you guys cards on and everything.
Yeah. Let her open up the side window area.